Thank you, everyone. Now, here are a few ground rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly switch your mobile phones to silent mode. We request that you refrain from entering or exiting the session while the speaker is delivering their presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes their presentation. Please refrain from engaging in crosstalk or side talks. Please refrain from engaging in crosstalks. Kindly note that each startup pitch is allotted 10 minutes with the 5 minutes of Q&A session, and hold your queries until then, and you will get a delegated time for your questions. With that, let's begin the startup session. The primary objective of Startup Strategies session is to inspire, motivate, and provide valuable assistance to founders. We aim to foster a supportive environment where insightful comments and helpful advices are shared among participants. Together, let us work towards nurturing innovative ideas and fostering entrepreneurial development. Without further ado, let me introduce esteemed speaker of the day, Ms. Shilpanjani Dantu, founder of Your Vizag. Your Vizag has gained significant popularity recognition as a prominent online media platform. It has over 3 million views and continued to grow. Shilpanjani Dantu also has an exceptional track record as a serial entrepreneur, having founded companies in multiple sectors, along with Your Vizag, such as Loom Bazaar, Idea First, and Gulab Tribe. Welcome, ma'am.
A very good afternoon. So it's a privilege to be here and addressing some startups and people who are interested to get into the startup ecosystem. And as you're aware, I'm Shilpanjani, and in 2008, a bug bit me, and that's how Yo Vizag started. And I do not belong to the publication field. It is just because I was going through an identity crisis at that point of time. So I wanted to be known, and I was not getting that in a job that I was doing. I was working for an IT-based company as an assistant director for India and Asia Pacific operations at that point of time. But unfortunately, somebody else was taking the credit of whatever I was doing. Somebody else was telling that I helped Shilpa or I did this. That's why she was able to achieve the goal. So I was actually stuck up there. And I come from a very humble middle class family. And my dad was a banker. My mom is a homemaker. And my dad kept telling me one thing that, for 24 years, he was stuck up in his bank job. He did not like it, but he pursued it. Because those days, I believe that, people were not willing to risk. And I think that was there throughout my journey, and I didn't want to work anywhere where I don't get satisfaction or recognition. Because end of the day, for a performer, you need recognition. If you don't get that, only money cannot be the driving factor. That's how my journey started. And would you like me to give a little background about my education and all? So basically, like everybody, my parents too wanted me to do MSET engineering, but I was very, very clear that I didn't want to do that. I wanted to pursue something different, but that different thing I was not able to pursue then. So ended up doing Bachelor of Computer Applications from Madras University. Since as I told you, my dad was a banker. It was a transferable job, and we ended up in Madras. And by the time we got there, I was I did not get any admission. So I didn't want to lose out on a year because people might think that I was never the topper of my class. I was happy to get first class, just pass. I was good with that. I mean, that is how I was, and my parents wanted me to study all the time. So I would take books and I would do my own things, like reading some novel or something like that. But I would never actually I never concentrated on my studies. So that's how it actually ended up doing BCA because I couldn't fight with them beyond that. I was happy that okay, they're not. They allowed me to do something other than engineering. That was a win situation for me. And BCA happened. It was a distance learning because I didn't want to waste my year. And I joined NIIT program. There was a program. I don't know if it's still there, but there's a program after 3 years of your while you're doing your graduation. If you do this program with NIT for 3 years, end of the year there is a guaranteed job. That is a program that I opted for, and I was very sure that I want to take the loan and clear the loan on my own. So it hit my dad's ego because he's a banker and he's telling me, why are you taking a loan, because I can do it all by myself. That's how the journey actually started, and that fighting rebellious nature, that is where actually I think I got some strength because I was able to fight and win them. So they would give up saying that this one is not going to back out. So that's um, that's one learning that I had. If you fight, you will definitely win, because if your intention is right, you will win that dialogue or battle or whatever. So ended up actually doing the course and discontinuing that course because I was recruited by NIIT as a student representative initially. So my job was to go and distribute packets at bus stops, at cottages. I'm talking about Chennai. So it was very, very hectic. And trust me, there was not even a single day that I would come back to my office without crying, because you know how it is a thankless job. You go give hello sir, I'm coming from NIT. Chikwa. Hello sir, I'm coming from NIT. Chikwa. So it was always like that. So when I went back, my boss told me one thing that this is a job. It's okay. It's okay if people dissuade you, and I mean there you will find at least 1 2 people who will respond back. Work for that. So we did cold calls during that period, and cold calls was very, very tough because these are like lower income group buildings, because we were doing this program, a literacy program, where we wanted to make sure that everybody is a computer literate. I'm talking about 2099, 2000. So it was very different, and women could not use computers. So we wanted to literate most of that. Computer literacy was the main goal of the program. So we used to go knocking doors, and 700 rupees was the program those days, and we managed to enroll about 700 people during that time, and that was the highest in the south region for one center doing it. So it was all done under me. So I got a lot of confidence, and trust me, because Tamil Nadu advantage is that you know you can't speak the language there. You have to speak in English. So I was standing out because I was able to communicate. There, the problem was we were not able to communicate. So first thing is communication is the key. I think we don't focus on that. Most of the time we focus on education. So communication, if you don't have communication, then it is very difficult to navigate through. How will you close a deal? You cannot have people all the time. If you're a founder of a company, you must know how to talk to people. So this is the basic fundamental thing that I think our education system misses out. It's always about technology related courses for people in BTech, and even though we're studying literature, a lot of people can write but can't talk. So that is a gap that we need to bridge. I mean, it's great that we want to be somewhere, but without communication, it won't take you anywhere. Because I think a lot of people who do not have education also, who are doing business, I think their strength is communication. So I think we need to concentrate on that area. Um, and then to cut short, um, completed my BCA. I had 3 years of experience in hand. I then moved to NIT Bangalore. I continued there. I spoke to NIT saying that I will work with only the main center. I will not work in a franchisee center. I set my rules because I was already a performer there. Then my ex-boss, who was in NIT Chennai, started a venture, and it was an ITES hardware training courses is what she actually gives, and she offered me a job in Singapore. I thought it was great because I wanted to go out of India like everybody, because my cousins and all went out of country in the early or end of 90s. So every time my parents would be like, "See that Akka went, you must also go. See that that person, that some ex cousin went." So it was there somewhere back of my head that I have to go out of country to make a big name or earn big money. I was foolish because uh, I think I was very young at that point of time to think that I will earn a lot of money somewhere sitting out of country and away from family. It didn't work actually. Singapore didn't happen because by the time I got my visa, I was a little frustrated. And then Tanzania did happen, and my dad was like, "Who would go to third world countries? I mean, you're not talking about America. You're talking not talking about Australia. Okay, Singapore is also still good." The other opportunity that I got was Sri Lanka. It was a big no at that point of time. So I ended up going fighting with him, and my granddad said, "Okay, what does it take? She'll go there. If she doesn't like, we'll bring her back. We have that much money to bring her back, right?" So because of that, my dad agreed. I went. I worked as an MIS specialist. Uh, I used to manage the entire portfolio of my CEO, where he did not have knowledge on training centers, and that was what I worked on for past 5 years. So all the general managers of the com- company, the training center, was reporting to me. I put a system in place, and after 9 months, I got a lot of times malaria by the way, Tanzania, and I was not able to tell my parents all of this. Uh, Passport also was lost, so I was stuck up at home. So I had faced enough challenges, and I think that gave me a lot of confidence. Because had I not ventured into a place like Tanzania, I would have never been here, probably because uh, I did take risk of my own career, my choices. Because frankly speaking, I did not even know what was MIS, but I was given that post, and they were looking for a 15 plus year old resource to fill that post. And there were a lot of people waiting in the waiting area, and I managed to bag that. So it was a big thing for me those days, and my dad was feeling proud at the same time. He was very scared. Uh, I came back nevertheless. After coming back, I decided that, as I always have this thing saying that, students don't have communication skills and soft skills need to be taught. So I thought I will set up a soft skills training center. My journey started there. It didn't happen. I had an offer where, a college was willing to give me 200 students. So we almost prepared the module. But somehow my dad saw an opportunity with one IT company, local IT company, which is supposedly an IT. So I ended up taking up a job there because their offer was director's position, and my dad was feeling extremely good about it, saying that, you're 23 and you're getting this position. I think you should learn everything in that company and then set on your own. So I went there. I didn't meet the CEO. I came back and I got a call, and we discussed in length for 45 minutes about what I did in Tanzania, what I did in my earlier course, all that was there, and he immediately offered me a job. That's where all this happened, saying that, somebody else, my vice president wanted to be, he wanted to be in the limelight. And he said that I helped her. So all this, I was not happy. And in the meantime, my dad actually, he took VRS, VRS voluntary retirement from bank, and he did a golden handshake. He had little money with him, and he always wanted to do some business. He did initially while he was in the banking sector, but he failed 3 times and he lost money. But that didn't stop him again, venturing out. Again, he was telling the same thing. I will set up a call center. Trust me, at those points of time, call center was a new thing. Like how Java was booming at one point of time, call center was like a very big thing. So I was still working here, and I was telling that, saying that, and those days I used to get 50,000 as a salary. So, and I was the sole earner because he was in VRS. I told my dad I'm not enjoying the job. He said, quit. Anyway, I'm starting a call center. We need help. We have so much of experience. So that experience will help us. So the first task was to get a project. Okay. This is where I'm talking about failure. Okay. So the first job was to get one project for the call center, and we managed to. My brother was in the final year engine. He went for internship to Nipuna call center basically. He was trained for 3 months there. So he had all those books and all from Nipuna. So he would do the training part of it for the resources that we hired. I would be the HR person who would recruit people, negotiate the salaries, and obviously we had to negotiate a project also. We had to go out and get there. Somehow these guys managed to find somebody in Delhi, and my dad was like, "You both go and understand, bring everything back to me, then we will figure out." So when we had discussions without knowing what call center projects are, how they go about, what is the kind of investment, nothing, zero knowledge. From here, we took a train to Hyderabad. From Hyderabad, we took a flight, went. We met them at a fancy mall, and we sealed the deal, saying that, yeah, yeah, great, guys, calm down. And they gave us very rosy picture that we will earn this much, these many lakhs, and every month we have to generate leads. That's the only job that we have. So great, everything started. I recruited people, and I was doing night shifts, and I was definitely whiling time because I was not interested in this call center business at all. Because I quit the job in the meantime. I was not happy. I quit the job, and I was almost getting into depression because I can't sit for so many days in house watching TV. 1 week is very good. Second week was getting very very crazy on me, and then that's when my dad was like, no no no, you help us. But trust me, that connection didn't happen. Call center and me, that connection itself didn't happen. And if I was telling my dad, he was getting super angry, saying that, how come you're not positive, always you're thinking negative. So I thought better not demotivate him because, he's already been hit twice, thrice. So now I don't want to do that. So let me help. I was like, there. And that's when I got this idea saying that, I was watching CNBC Young Turks while I quit my job. And this lady told me one thing. I think, yeah, Deepthi Reddy. Wow Hyderabad. That's the magazine she runs. I had no clue about her. In between, I was just browsing through channels and Young Turks happened, and I really like to watch those series. And she was telling that, I don't have any knowledge in print media. I used to run a web portal, And my husband asked me to get into print. So I just got into it. It was this simple. I mean, I'm just consolidating what she's told. So if she can start without knowing, why can't I start? That was just the triggering point. Trust me, in 4 months we launched the money. We didn't know a publication house how it is functioning. We didn't know how the pages are printed. We didn't know how a feature story is done. We've never done interviews. We don't have any connects with celebrities. It was just an idea that, why don't we give something nice to Vizag where we um, promote, showcase Vizag in the best possible way. I think this city needs something like this. So that was the whole motivation. And trust me, even when I go up to people, because it's a startup, then I wouldn't even be able to frame things that easily because I myself don't know what your Vizag will continue. It was that kind of a journey. Okay, coming back again to my call center thing. Uh, what happened was we went and bought 16 computers. My dad's brother was working somewhere. And my dad said, I want to give this to my brother. I will buy computers from his company. That was done. Then do we do VoIP calls too? I'm not sure, but those days we used to do VoIP calls basically. So we needed to have a headgear that would do those calls. So me and dad took a bus, went to Bangalore, met some unknown guy, and he gave us a deal, great deal. We spent, I think, some 1.5 lakhs on just those headgears. Came back and started the calling. Training happened, the calling started. We started generating leads, and we were very excited that we will get money end of the month, but we didn't get it. It took us 3 months to discover that a fake project was sold. And everything, like whatever my dad had money, I think we invested close to 9 lakhs. Everything was gone. And I took a decision to remove all the resources, send them back home. My dad was like, how come you're closing my company? Why are you taking this decision? You don't want this call center to run. Like, what? So he was behaving crazily at that point of time. I told my mom, I think the way forward is we will be on roads if we keep them. We have to let go of them. So till whatever date, whichever date they had worked. So this is a failure. So you're handling that resilience is important, very, very important. Not get, panic. That kind of a situation, get panic and think that, oh my god, 9 lakhs is lost. Those days, 9 lakhs is quite a huge amount. So rather than sitting and crying and trying to, make yourself even worse, the situation will get worse. You have to act immediately. That if you don't act, then that 9 lakhs will become 90 lakhs in. And trust me, no amount of your ancestral property or your whatever you accumulated, your family's wealth, nothing is going to help. You will lose everything. So I had taken that day that call. I think I was able to take that call because I had experience. I had seen people how they conduct themselves. And sometimes this is right, this is wrong. Because I worked with one such person where they would spend money like this. Because suddenly you're getting some 40 lakhs. 30 lakhs worth shopping is already done. I want to go abroad, I want to go to London, I want to have these fancy bags. Anyway, money will come, no, money will. And trust me, these people are running everything on loans. That 30 lakhs, if I were in their position, I will repay my loan. But when you get there, sometimes that spiral effect, it won't stop. You won't be able to stop it. So that was the scenario that we came out. I had called them and I told them that till date, whatever they worked, we paid them and we sent them back. And we had these one things which we could anything about. Luckily, my mom was very smart, and she spoke to some relatives saying that who just started, and she cracked a software project, a PHP project, and for Nikon also we were developing some coding. Uh, so that helped us to sustain, have some resources, and in the meantime, this idea came. I started on it, and I was able to sell my first check for yoga as I was from Farmo. I sold it for 25,000, 3 months package. I'm a hardcore marketing professional. All the years from 2001, I was in hardcore marketing. So I knew how to sell. It was only thing that I didn't realize is people don't give money immediately. They will take their own time. They will give you a commitment. Yes, yes, we will. It took some of our checks were defaulted for over 1 year. So what do? Go back to your dad, ask him to break an FD, pay your salaries, pay your printing costs. Again, whenever money comes, release it back to you. This was the circle I was going on. And I was very, very clear. Because of the call center, we ended up actually selling one plot. Because my dad didn't want us to take the hit. So he took the hit. And he sold. And it was as if nothing happened. Because we had that money. And Vizag, of course, had a lot of challenges. Because if I started, people were like, "Why do you want to start? What is Vizag? Who will read?" After 3 months, you will exhaust everything. There won't be anything that you can write about Vizag. So I didn't get any positive response. I motivated my own self because I felt that it would be something good for the city, and I had that gut feeling that it'll be a success. I don't know why, but I had this sheer grit that something I'm going to be very popular. See, that was the key thing. I wanted what I wanted. I wanted an identity for myself, and I got that identity through Yoga Vizag. Today, if I'm here, it's only because of Yoga Vizag. Parallelly, when I was going and working for Yoga Vizag ads and all of that, I used to have a Maruti 800. Go park my car, whatever shops are there in the line. I don't have a marketing executive even till date. We had interns who would come and in between go out, but consistently, I was the only marketing professional that Yoga Vizag could have, could effort, because we were, if a team that we probably Yoga Vizag would be 10 people, I would be basically that 10, whichever I would be that 10 people. I would go and distribute, I would go to printing. My brother somehow got into designing, but it took him about 8 months to become a designer. Because he was criticizing another designer's work. I said, okay, you be a designer if you are criticizing. Today, Touchwood, he is the creative head, and the minute they say Vishnu Dantu is handling the project, they're happy and they give away, all that thing. No, 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 Vishnu will be able to handle. So that's a name that he's got in the market. And so one such situation, I went to Sri Shanti. So, so I told them, if you want any pamphlets or something, tell us. We will help you out. I don't know anything how to do pamphlets. Trust me. I just know somehow I know how to make the paginations and layouts for Yoga Vizag, because that's what I was doing. I was sitting with the designer. The designer, trust me, the designers were semi-skilled. And I would sit with a Vogue, I would sit with some film fair, and I will say that I want a page like this, I want this thing. So I was actually trying to copy somebody's work, but you can't copy it as is anyway. It is only an inspiration end of the day. It ends up into something else. So, but people started liking. And I remember the first time that we launched the edition. There again, there is a problem. See, if you are in a startup ecosystem, Be brave to, face challenges. If you're not brave enough, you will fall down. Be brave, saying that don't think that, I will face challenges, I will face. No. If there is a challenge, you have to, you know, once you face that, that only determines your success. Many times what happens is, see, when there is a failure, what happens? You get demotivated, don't you? What does a failure do? I want to hear from you guys. Hello.
Sleepless nights.
Tell, come on, let's make it interactive.
Exactly. Some of them hate some experience. I can handle
Yeah.
when the reality is different than expectation. It should say fear of contingent.
So many things. But don't you think startups, they are, these factors do come. High risk, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, right? So it's part of our journey. And only the way in which you try to attend that situation, you to be alert and you know how to navigate through. If you don't navigate through it, you know, it will take again for you to get up and your pace will change. You want to, easiest thing is go back and work in a day job, feel secure. That is the easiest thing to do. So I think that, we are all basically here because we are ready to face those challenges. We are different. We desire our output, what we have in our mind is completely different from what others want. So that's why we are here in this ecosystem discussing about it. I think Saturdays college is there. No college. Why are they all sitting here? Because we have some interest. We want to do something in life. We are different. That is why we are in this ecosystem. And if you can start working on it, have focus, have passion, you'll never go wrong. I will tell you one situation. Um, Vizag has been a 15-year journey. And I can tell you so many instances that made me who I am today. Once the edition got printed, okay, let me talk about the first edition. And let me not even go far. First edition got printed, my brother went to Vijayawada because we thought that Vizag does not have the right printing facility. Because if we give pink, some other tone of pink comes. If we give grey, black, probably black is grey, printed in grey. So we didn't want to do that. So we decided we will go to Vijayawada. So this guy had no clue. Even I got no clue. He said, no, I will go. I spoke to that guy. 65,000 printing cost. That money, he went. He got it printed. He was there for 3 days. He got it printed. He came back. He came back when, on the day it was getting launched. 6:30 was the press meet. 6, I think 50 or something, 7ish, he came from Vijayawada. So, luckily, Palm Beach was very, very supportive and, everybody wanted us to have it, Park Hotel and all of that. We couldn't afford. And Palm Beach was willing to give a 25,000 package where they would give me a free room to change, you know, they would serve food and a lot of things were taken care by them. And whenever I had a celebrity guest, by the way, they would give me a free room. So I think startups need all this kind of encouragement, right? Can't spend money on your own. You don't have any money. It's fancy because people used to think this girl has a lot of money. But the reality is very different. I went to and saw you having a good day. I checked the website. In 32 pages, I am not lying. The end lines were not there. So what does it mean? I have to spend again some 35,000 to do reprint. Am I going to give up? Am I going to stop my press meet? Am I going to sit and cry? Or do I face the challenge? I took it up. I said, just we had some guests on the dais, and I remember Huda chairman who was one of our chief guests at that point. I told my brother, just get five. Tell them bring get the other comics. Let them hold the magazine. The minute it is done, pick it back and put it in the. Tell them that we will send it later. We did that. Exactly, did executed. Video was going mad. They saw. So see, nobody will be able to identify. My brother could not identify it because I was sitting on it for 4 months. I know there were double pages. Like, trust me, I was so disappointed. Palm Beach was the first hotels to give me the check. Even now, Sunny Freddy is the GM. 2 times his picture was there in some copies. So I was like, very, very, I thought, what happened? My name is gone. All this was there, but I had to agree. So we sent it. That fellow was not agreeing that it was his. He made us again spend money. Then we launched. By the time itself, people were asking me, are you from Asian School of Journalism? Where have you done your media studies? So there was already so much of hype that happened. I was very disappointed. Trust me, if you ask me to look back at that edition, it is such a bad edition. I don't like it. So at every stage, I was criticizing my own work. People will say 100 things, wow, great. But if I am in that thing zone saying that great, great, will I improve? I won't improve. So, another thing, it is funny, yet it was very difficult to handle the situation. We started printing in Visakhapatnam. We identified a print. The edition was released. It came home. It was in distribution. It didn't come. Yeah, one edition came. It was in distribution stage. By then, I had one. My driver actually acts as a distribution agent also. So all of us in our office, we do multitasking. So driver does accounts also, by the way. So you should ask me how efficiently you can plan these people. I will tell you. Team size is very small, but we do lot of things, and it is very clear that we tell them whenever we don't try to give an appointment right on the day first day. We tell them that saying that you have to do everything, a bit of your Vizag, a bit of our agency, and right now I have my startup, so a bit of my startup. So they are prepared, they are motivated, and I tell them that you don't get bored with one thing. You can do various things in one office. So this gentleman called, Amma, all of you understand Telugu? Or should I? Yeah. So Amma, పెద్ద పొరపాటు అయిపోయింది. Mistake has happened. Means what is it? Oh, Satyasabha, one event happened. Park Hotel had another. And Park Hotel event was very interesting, belly dancers. So we just swapped the country. What am I supposed to do? Sit and cry? Face the situation? Fix it? But we need to fix the situation. So I fixed it. It was Sunday. And luckily the printer was a big Satyasai Baba. So he told me, I will arrange you stickers. But we cannot stick it Sunday. We don't have any manpower. So not all. And that year actually, I think if I'm right, my dad passed away also. So I was in my grandmother's house. So 1 year I asked them support because I was not sure if I would be able to sustain myself. And, I moved into their house. So my grandmother and two helpers in the house, us, everybody stuck those things. And by the way, first lot was already delivered at railway station and Jyotigo only. 100 copies already. So again, we had to convince them, get the copies back, and they fixed it. So it is in the best. See, what I'm trying to tell you with all this is challenges will come, failures will come, setbacks will come. You need to fix. Minimum loss, you have to, figure it out. That is what I basically try to do. Okay, we were navigating ourselves. 2016, we launched our digital edition because we were getting a lot of press notes. We didn't know what to do with it. Otherwise, I never printed any lifestyle month. So we launched it. And my brother is, if I'm crazy, he's crazier. So in one day, he uploaded 800 articles. He was sitting on large content fund. I'm talking from 2008 to 16. So we uploaded all the articles. That's when our journey started. We don't know something about SEO. What is it? So what is it? We cracked that. We have a third party who would guide us, where we would try and understand. But then I cracked the SEO part in my own way. Because every time a resource comes, if I don't know, how will they be able to do? So from 6,000 viewership went up to 1.5 million. And today we are at 4 million. So that is the growth. And peak COVID, again, a setback. Are you supposed to do? I can't bring my print edition. You think people in lockdown will buy? Somebody will print? And 13 years of hard work just gone because of COVID. I had to take a decision saying that, let's stop the print edition for some time. That some time became now almost 2 years plus. I'm not in a position to bring my print edition. I'm totally relying on my digital. I desire to bring it back, but at the right moment. So that is how. And parallelly, as I was telling you, Sri Shanti happened. I cracked a deal with them in 2009, I think, for first brochure for Sri Shanti. Managed to give them for 12,000 I sold. That's when I realized that we can make money from design phase. So we have no clue about graphic designing, ABC of logo designing, branding, nothing. We got into it. Because, for survival, you will do anything. So this is something that we could do. And we had a shelter with us. So it was, and anyway, you guys had needed a graphic. So it was not like, I had to hire him additionally. So I did a deal with that person. And I'll give you 1,000 rupees. He was very happy that he's earning side money. So that's how I cracked that deal. And then I went to Shriram Properties. I mean, they used to give some prime logo pages like 35,000, 50,000. That's how I used to sell the ads at. Sometimes even 1 lakh I remember. So I told them saying that if you have any design banners or something that needs to be done locally, we can do it. Trust me, a year back that I've said, this man calls me from Sri Lanka. Shilpa, you told your brother, can you be help? Even till date, Sriram is upright. They have a design agency from Chennai which handles the entire Sriram group. But they like our work because the minute that hoarding went, they got 150 calls. So even today, also we delivered a 100-page presentation or something. So like that, slowly, slowly we grew our agency. We survived, but trust me, in the journey, my first resource for writing, she did not want to take the job because she had her cousin working for Hindu as a photographer. So he told, "What is this nameless yoga is that you're working with Hindu as a freelancer? Why do you want to work with nameless people? Don't work." So she came to me because she was a common friend. My the lady who designs my clothes and her are friends, and I happen to be her client. Somehow she connected us in that Shilpanjani.
Sorry.
So ended up meeting her, and sure, because of my enthusiasm, she took up the role. She wanted to be in her pen name is what she wanted me to publish in the editorial board. But by the time the magazine was ready to print, she was willing to basically give her real name. So, and then we thought, who were as writers backing us? Good writers. That's how you guys had survived. Because they and us, you at Yoga, we shared the same dream. Money was not the driving force for Yoga. It was we wanted to do something good for Vizag, and my selfishness was I wanted a name. These were the two things. And today, IFS handles CMA jewelry, the entire across the state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We handle Mauri, we handle Navy, we handle tourism, AP tourism. We've done coffee table books for Navy and little. So we've done a lot of work, which we are not professionally skilled at, but we delivered and we've got a very good, response for it. And COVID actually taught me one other thing that, yoga is that I cannot scale up. I wanted to, get into something that I can scale. And that's how actually my startup, which is Gulab Tribe, happened. And it's a wooden toy brand. And we make not just wooden toys, we have different verticals. The verticals right now, twice, we have 25 designs. We have another vertical where it's in sampling stage where we have crochet accessories. Then we have furniture, we have home decor, we have kids clothing and board games. All this will be under Gulab Tribe. Some of the verticals are in sampling stage. Some of them we are exporting already toys to Middle East. We've done trade shows in Italy. I am risking because I believe that this will take me more forward. And just to end, I've written so that I should not forget, the way I wanted to say it. So, to all those who are starting out or who are struggling to keep their startup afloat, I say this: never give up. Keep learning, keep growing, keep moving forward resiliently. Thank you for the opportunity. Would you want to take any questions?
Do you still have that old copies mistakes with you?
I do have.
You would like to have a look at that?
Sure. Come down to office. We have everything fast.
After you become more,
Sure.
I'm slightly curious. The beginning told us that a bug bit you, and that's how your journey started. What is that story? The bug bit you? Is it the malaria?
That thing of wanting to become something,
All right.
wanting to be famous, and I cannot survive. I've been a performer. I would wherever I work, I would get a certificate, appreciation certificate. I work for that. I don't work on.
Actually, I've read you as I think the 19. So your content I always found very authenticate because we can rely on very much on every article. So since you have very small team as you are saying, so how do you gather the information at the right time and the right time you also publish the very best time? No, today some event happened, you have to publish the next day. So
In startups or even in business, networking plays a very credibility plays a very. What do we have? We have immense credibility in it. So we could establish a network at no cost. So when COVID happened, we would call the DFO saying that what are the numbers. He would give us the details and tell us saying that don't publish it until the press note is released. So what we would do, we would keep everything ready. We won't click on the publish button. The minute that is out, in next 5 minutes, your Vizag will up the art. So we were competing with giants like Hindu and DOI. So it's because sheer hard work and see once you make good with your name goes away, then you won't have any of this. So we were very clear from the beginning that we wanted more than money. Money will follow. If I go after money, that goodwill won't be there. So we built that credibility. That is the biggest strength for you.
Will there be Yo India in the near future?
Actually, frankly speaking, when I set out, I wanted to go Chennai, go Bombay, and then actually in between we realized that we've done a wrong thing by naming it Yo Vizag. It should have been called Yo India because we would have been in another, probably dimension. But there is love for Vizag and we cannot kill Yo Vizag. So that emotional connect is also very bad. Trust me, you should not have any emotional connect. Today, startups function in a completely different way. You make money, you exit. Oh, you started because you want to exit. There are emotional fools like us who would still want to continue with this. Trust me, there are so many people in our circle who are living this everywhere. Fancy things. We still struggle. Probably, had I been working for somebody, I would have been making more money than what I would be making here. But that sheer thing, no, I find it good. I'm passionate about it and this gives me joy. So, why do something that I don't like?
So liking and gut feeling is your basic parameter.
Passion is very, very important. Yeah, sometimes, I don't know. Otherwise, I knew it from the time everything was going so fine. In fact, we were given wow Vizag. When we applied for Yo Vizag, they rejected Yo Vizag and they gave wow Vizag just before the launch of the edge. Then luckily, we had contact. So sometimes you need to use our contacts. We can't be adamant that if I will do everything on it. I did that. But sometimes you need to use your network. And it's not wrong. I realized it lately. Today I'm very confident that if somebody refers me, I mean, because I have built that credibility, they're able to refer me. He's doing a favor to the other person. So I was not thinking like this at all before. I would feel very awkward, shy. Why the hell? Then other thing is ego. Why the hell should I ask somebody else some help? I will do it. Every time doesn't one person cannot. We need a team. So, seriously? Vizag has competition in Vizag?
How did you manage to not Your competition.
No, I'm sorry, but
This
I
makes competition. Yes.
I think we had a very clear vision that we wanted to focus the city.
For the other way around, how did you manage not to get a competition?
Not really, but we had every phase. We had, I think, every year we had one launch, magazine, newspaper. Didn't matter because but definitely I would get scared. It's not like it would be like you guys that needs to gear up and pump up and something. We are in that space where we are relaxed also. Ansha, we will do that kind of an attitude keeps coming because when you're running it for the past 15 years, sometimes I feel like I want to run away. Unfortunately, I can't run away because I'm leading it. I can't quit. If I want to, and I've not been able to find a replacement. That's also a mistake. Frankly speaking, I should have found somebody who's capable enough to push it. I didn't let that happen at the right time. So today it is burdening me because I have yoga said, I have my ad agency idea first, I have Gulab Tribe, I have another startup called EcoBuxa which is into gifting, and in between all of this I have Loom Bazaar, my love for handloom fabrics. So I want to do everything. That is also a mistake. So you only learn from it. There is no right way, wrong way. Once you fail, you learn it.
Starting with she's always just
I think
the experience for these types.
I think one is from 2016. I somehow got into that handloom, handicraft. I was, I think, I just love it.
It's another
Yeah.
sustainable.
But I thought I'll sell sarees. What sarees? It was big stakes, 3.5 lakhs I bought sarees. But I don't know how to sell a saree. Like how I know to sell a magazine ad, I don't know to sell a saree. And my brother would think that selling a saree is like bringing your stature down. You are an editor of a magazine. So he had a different take on it. I had a different take on it. So because of which also I think there was some steps that I couldn't go forward. And later on, by the time we were handling CMR, we realized such a big market. Who the hell, how does it matter you're selling a sari or you're selling something else? Doesn't matter. As long as you're scaling up, making money, because we realized very lately that, Yovizag is not a money vending machine. We realized that. But we needed to support ourselves to support Yovizag also. We needed some other business to support us. So we were pumping money from our ad agency. Whenever there was setbacks, we would do that. But one thing is, I was disciplined enough to give that money back to people. I would not do that, even with our own companies, because I need to know where Yovizag stands. I need to take that call. I think Yovizag is there. And Gulab Tribe and all, everything, it's just love for handcrafted. I think because of Yovizag, we ended up doing lot of stories. And that's how we bumped into artisans and craftsmen. Then we knew the plight of them, and that's how it all happened. Thank you. I think it's been a long session. I'm sorry.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, next on our agenda, we have an exciting startup pitch by Naresh for his startup, Farmo.
Good evening, all. My name is Naresh Alika. I had an legal civil Master's in Development Studies from my university. I come from an agricultural family. I come from actually village called. Okay. I come from an agriculture family. It's a village from Narasimhapuram of Telangana. Recently, I moved to Vizag. Presently, I'm working with a startup called GMC Golden Mountain Club. So I have actually one startup called Alpha Boost. It's a data collection services. We have generated 1.5 crore revenue last year, and this is my new startup. Uh, so we are working on Farmo idea. So right dose at right time. So I just want to ask a couple of questions. Just you can raise your hand. How many of you know farming? How many of you know how actually farmer is doing farming? So you know the process, like actually land preparation. After that, seeding, planting, growing, like crop get pest attack and this is the fertilizers and pesticides and harvesting after that like market. So these are the some statistics, basic statistics. So all of you know like India is a source for the agriculture. Like 50% of the families still depending on the agriculture as a primary source of income, and we have so 11 plus crores of farmers in India. And the business of the fertilizers and pesticides around the 2,000 crores and 260 or 200 crores of business of pesticides in India. So actually, after my masters, I working with the various NGOs in India. So while working with the NGOs and with the communities, so like I figure out some problems with the Indian agriculture farmers. So, so what are those problems? The problems I have identified is the improper uses of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So the actual when farmers they want to use the fertilizers or pesticides for their crops, they don't have any particular measurement, particular any mechanism to use. Just they take a opinion from the other agro farmers, like also like it's opinions of the market, the fertilizers retail agents. So after get some fertilizers and they will use it. So there is no proper. For example, if you take urea, actually the proper mechanism like you need to know how much percentage of nitrogen it needs the soil. Based on that, you have to apply the urea. So without knowing this, we can't upload it. And farmers are, generally they're just taking the bags from the shops and just applying the urea and whatever it is. So that is like we don't have any mechanism to apply the fertilizers and pesticides in the farm. And also one other thing, like there is no access of agri professionals. So I call agri professionals the people who just BSc agriculture, MS agriculture, the people who just got completed their studies in masters. So they don't have any farmers don't have any access to get these professionals to get the suggestions and other informations. And lack of info on the suitable crops, soil test, weather conditions, agri schemes. If you go to any village, there is no proper mechanism to get the info. Yeah, there are government initiatives, but still the gap is more. The high cost of fertilizers and pesticides. As you know, while growing, the cost of the fertilizers and pesticides is increasing, and how to solve. So we have designed the system called Farmo. So what we do, it's an integrated system, it's hybrid, and we have the technology along with the field stock in the ground level to address the issues. With the agri clinics, the medical clinics, how it works. Like if you have any problem, health disease, and you go to the particular medical professional, health professional, and you get the diagnostic what is the problem and what is the required medicines for the drugs for the use to get cure of that disease. So you get the drugs and medicines, and you will get it for it. Like that same agri clinics. So through this, I'll explain how it works. So through agri clinics, and we will have this special call center. Farmer can call the call center to get the information about all these things. And we are going to develop an integrated platform where farmers and retail shop owners and wholesale buyers like fertilizers companies come together to business the fertilizers and pesticides. Another thing we'll have soil test labs and other agri equipment in the particular area. So I'll show you how it works. So if farmer, any of the farmer, to if any pest attack or disease attack to the crop, so they have to dial our call center, and after call receiving the call from the farmer at our call center, and we'll depute one agri professional who is experiencing the all field level. He goes to the he or she goes to that field and see the what is the problem. Okay, so after identifying the problem, he'll write similar kind of medical prescription. He'll write the what are the fertilizers or pesticides required for this pest attack, and after that, the farmer can get the those required things on our platform. So this is the ecosystem. So what are the unique value? These are all the existence. We have our unique quick agriculture. Like medical consultancy, we have quick agriculture. Once you get the call from the farmer, so within 1 or 2 days, our agricultural professional will go to and goes to the field and get the required things. And the major motto of this startup is the optimum utilization of the chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So because of the uses of this chemical fertilizers and pesticides, we are getting the climate change. It's badly affecting the environment. So we want to we are not against the chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So we want to use the optimum level chemical fertilizer English tablets English medicines we need that chemical fertilizer also we need, but right dose at right time. That's our motto. So while doing this, we can reduce the cost reduction, input cost reduction. So through that, we can enhance the income of the farmers. And this all the information just a phone call level. That's our unique. So our customer segments are two. One are basically primary customers are farmers, and the other customers the fertilizers, pesticides companies, because they're showing that their catalogs on our integrated platform. So we have revenue streams it's basically working as a subscription model for farmers and a commissional model for the commission based model for the agri profession agri businesses companies who show their products on our app. And the service charge for farmers who use our soil test labs and other agricultural equipment. And it's for information, it's a free to farmers can use our call center. Existing alternatives, there are a couple of startups already doing this, but it's all agri, it's an app based. So nowadays I don't know if it is an agri tech, you just call get the information on the app based and call agri tech company. So we don't want to become like that. We want to be there in the field and give our handhold support to the farmers. And all our app based government initiatives are also there, but it's also similar app based, and KVK is there, Vizag came, but their intense level is very low. So the gap is still more. So what we want, the availability of farmer services should be reached in all the villages of India. That's our motto, and we want to reduce the usage of the chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So reaching farmer services to the farmers and enhance their income. That's what we want. So team, I myself, I had a 6+ years of experience in the community of development and operations, and my teammate Sai Rupa, she has 4+ years of experience in the sustainable agriculture. Thank you.
You got NPKs, right? RPKs వచ్చాయి కదా.
Yes, sir.
RPKs కి మీకు తేడా ఏంటి?
Actually, we are not different కాదు, but ఫీల్డ్ లెవెల్లో ఇంకా వీళ్ళ గ్యాప్ ఉంది సార్. ఫార్మర్స్
ప్రతి పంచాయతీలో ఉన్నారు కదా ఆర్బీకే అంటే.
ఉన్నారు కానీ దే ఆర్ నాట్ వర్కింగ్ ప్రాపర్లీ సార్. అంటే మేము స్టిల్ విలేజెస్ లో ఐడెంటిఫై చేసాం, ఎంత ప్రాపర్ గా వర్క్ చేయలేదు.
ఇది గవర్నమెంట్ వాడుతుంది కదా
గ్రోమోర్ వాళ్ళది రీసెంట్ 1 month బ్యాక్ ఒక యాప్ లాంచ్ అయింది, బట్ స్టిల్ యాప్ బేస్డ్ సార్. ఇంకా వాళ్ళ గ్రౌండ్ లెవెల్
షాప్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా,
షాప్స్ ఉన్నాయి కానీ అవి యూజ్ అవుతాయి. Actually, I'm just saying that there are initiatives in ground level, but it's not, the gap is still more. I want to use, close that gap. There are initiatives.
ఫార్మర్ అంటే ఎకరమా, అరెకరమా, టెరెస్ గార్డెన్? ఫార్మర్ అంటే
who do cultivation సార్. అంటే నా దృష్టిలో ఎవరైనా ఏదైనా ఒక పంట పండిస్తే ఎనీ టెర్రస్ గార్డెన్ కానీ ఎవరికైనా సరే ఫార్మర్ అంటే ఫార్మింగ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు ఫార్మర్ అంటే నో one acre, not Indian government definition. Like now, ఎవరికైనా help అంటే farming related that we want to help them.
But the call centers have failed very badly in India.
Yes, yes.
So be wary of that. Farmer కి మనిషి చూడాలి, మనిషి ఎదురుగా ఉండాలి కానీ ఫోన్ ద్వారా మీకు ఫోన్ వస్తుంది మేము వెళ్తాం అనేది
So we have actually we want to depute our staff at the ground level, but our medium is the phone number, phone call. Our field staff, marketing staff, everything will be there in field, and like we'll get the information from the other source as well. But the primary source of the getting the information from the phone call itself. Zoom meeting with the farmers. I don't know. Sir. No, actually, the reasons the couple of started I mentioned, the reason behind the failure of the startups is how many of farmers using the smartphones.
90%.
So that's
How many are using smartphones?
5%.
5% of farmer and within that 5%, how many can understand the app scrolling and operating the app? It's very difficult.
Look on the 5%.
No, I don't want to work on that side. I actually want to work on this ground. There are the other startups working on that. So I want it there in the ground level.
My question is, how many people are you planning?
Actually, we haven't we are doing the background work just now. So we are going to feel in a couple of months. So we are planning to start with our employee 10 members. We want to start in the 2 blocks of the Visakhapatnam.
అంకాపల్లి విశాఖపట్నం రూరల్
Sorry, not Manyam area, Sikampeta, sir.
సీతంపేట.
Sorry, I was like.
So have you done?
This is we have streamlined, but we haven't gone to the field level. We subscription. We think that subscription model will work because I had worked with the communities at the ground level, so I had the pulses of the farmers. So if they get proper thing, they will pay you. Thank you all. Thank you Ahab and Ganesh for giving me opportunity.
Thank you, Naresh. As we near to the end of our session, I would like to announce that we will be having an open mic session. This is an opportunity for you all members of the audience to share their innovative ideas and thoughts. We welcome anyone with ideas to step forward and contribute to the discussion. However, I kindly remind everyone to maintain respectful environment during the session. Let's ensure that those expressing their ideas feel supported and encouraged.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Narayana from first year CSC, A College of Engineering. So I got 3 ideas. They are general problem solving, not commercial ones. Means what I faced through my journey. So the first idea would start with my experience of engineering library. If everyone might have experienced library. So there is engineering library in off campus. So it's a treasure. There is lots of books, thousands of. So when I first went to get one of a reference book for my thing, I spent 1 hour seriously. Almost there will be a author index. First you need to go to author index. Then you find the number, then the rack number. Then if you are lucky, you will get that book that day. So it depends on luck. So there are thousands of serious things. Many students search for half an hour, 1 hour to find the book. So and if you have read a book and you liked it, and if you want to get the other day, that's also luck if you find the same place. So my idea is making it automated. Books are in racks. If let's say assume I have not worked on it, it's completely in my mind. So let's say it's a level of computer science and IoT, of course, Internet of Things can be done. But yes, there is no money in it. I think it's a student level thing. It's not commercial. So let's say there are 100 racks in a library. So if somehow we know on which rack, in each rack there are 8 levels, I think. This one. So if we get the rack number easily through, already there is a database of books in the library. The database already done, I think, because the librarian easily enroll, means subscribes to the book through entering the number or some identification of the book. So the database of the book is there. The only thing is how can we do it in a physical landscape, like there are people sitting out in which chair the book is there is the thing. But GPS won't do the thing because books are very narrower and you can do it. So if somehow through sensor something, if we get the rack number, and if it tells in which rack it is, almost 80% of the work is done. So if you tell the level, you can easily find. So you can save almost an hour with just 2 or 5 minutes of thing, and it could save the time of every student who is coming to universities to pursue his. So it's a great saving of time. Time is actually valuable when it comes to a student. So that is my first idea. So coming to my second idea, it is about electricity. So these days the electricity voltage is too good. There are higher voltages actually. So we are in a digitalized way where we are coming from digital devices from analogous. So digital devices give us in our speedometers also we see the electric scooters, they give kilometers in 21.1 kilometer, 21.5. So let's say there is LED over here, there are expensive electrical devices. So we actually still rely upon the analogous fuse, which is almost 50 years or 40 years or 20 years older one, which with rating of 5 amperes. But what are the rating of our devices? They are actually DC one, 6 volt, some are 12 volt, very less voltage. So I have seen recently people buy expensive televisions, HD quality. They're very expensive devices. So we don't know what is the electricity coming. We are reliable on analog like inverters, which are analog. We don't know what the actual risk is. So how can we place a tachometer, something which already there, to a digital circuit, and through software and through internet we can real time know what is the electricity flowing through my house main, what is the electricity flow through the circuit, what is means it's too futuristic maybe, but when it comes to industry level, because there are big companies running on electricity like software companies. So if you want to make your devices safe, so not relying on the fuse burn off, can we cut off the electricity by knowing the electricity flowing? Let's say the wire can only send 20 amperes. By the time it just reaches 21.1, a digital system can shut it down in a second, fraction of second. We should not rely on the metal to burn off, on the heating and all. We are very old. We are now in a digital world. So that is the second area we can make the circuits depend on the digital devices and the internet and that. And the third idea is agriculture. Actually, I got related to it because you was speaking on agriculture. Actually, when my grandmother, started means uh, terrace gardening in the COVID, because at that time I was not at my grandma's home. I was somewhere else, so I was not playing any sport over the terrace. So she was safely planting the trees. So within 2 years, she made a terrace garden of 100. What we call, I don't know what it is. Uh, uh, what is the pots? Earthen pots filled with soil. And so every day she spends almost 6 hours seriously in the morning 1 hour, evening 2 3 hours, weekly she should almost at least 4 hours maybe in watering each plant requires different levels of water, and harvesting them and taking care of them. It's a very time spending one. So at urban level where many young people themselves called eco-friendly or eco enthusiasts, so they like to have terrace gardening. So how can we make it digitalized, means automation, where IoT or something can take care with depending on each plant what it requires watering, because in terrace gardening there is not the same place. Every plant is different and unique. So it's not we have to take care them. A human can do it, but how can a machine do the watering according to the requirement? Like it's all idea based. So these are my 3 ideas. So thank you. Actually, means I want to take suggestions, but to be frankly, right now I'm not willing to do any startup, or I'm not interested in that side because I'm too young. I want to acquire some knowledge, get to know what the technology is, because I know nothing. It's an ocean of engineering. By the time I entered engineering, I realized it's a big ocean because there's a lot of things to learn. But one great thing I realized when I was in 11th, I was pursuing what we call MPC, or junior college in KV. So at the time, I thought, I never seen business side. My family is never into business. So mine was to pursue studying engineering, find the desk job, and do it. So one day, by the time I came to listening to startups, I realized at the end of the day, everybody who's earning a penny is actually a part of a huge business or a small business. It's the world of business actually exchange. So it actually, that's what. That's it. Any suggestions?
So it's nice that you're telling us that
I suggestions even actually.
yeah, solution.
Told to ask for suggestions, not
Okay, inspired by Shilpa and sustainability, I had this long since. I have two daughters separated by 7 years, 10 months, and the elder one's clothes, I keep it for the younger one. Earlier, we used to stay in, even if we didn't stay in joint families, even if though we were in nuclear families, the clothes used to pass on from the elder cousin to the youngest cousin. And those days, we hardly had few clothes, one for Diwali, one for St. Fatih. But now, every time for every, I stay in a gated community, MP Gold Coast, and every time there is Amazon or Myntra coming and parcels of clothes and all coming. So, but at the same time, we open the cupboards, ask the ladies here, we feel that the cupboards are full of clothes, but we don't feel like wearing some. Some maybe we have outgrown because we have increased in guilt and all that. So I feel that if there is a platform where sometimes we buy new clothes, we think we'll wear it when the right occasion comes, but by the time the occasion comes, we either don't, it's out of fashion, or we don't fit into it and things like that. And sometimes we use that once for a special occasion. Somebody bought a party frock, for our daughter from US, the best of brands and all. They're all as good as new clothes. But where are they going? We can't give it to them to maids or charity because it will look ridiculous on them. Sorry if I'm sounding biased. So if there is a platform where people can, either borrow or buy these kind of clothes and digital platform, and at least in the city, within the city of Vizag, I think this would be a very sustainable option. The best of brands, like I still remember Oshkosh because was the one which my friends got for my elder daughter when she was a toddler. And after 7 years, I made the younger one. I was not expecting the younger one, of course, but after 8 years, I made her wear that, and it was as good as new. There are jeans there. I mean, and they say fashion goes cyclic. Like once you wear bell bottoms and then baggies and then bell bottoms and all. So, and some kind of jeans suit some, and whatever we feel comfortable. So the best of brands and the best of the things, and we even for that matter, saris. Vizag is after all a small place. We attend one function in Voltaic Club, one personal function in Novotel, and the whole city has seen. Of course, you're featured in your Vizag or Red Max, and the whole city has seen it. So why not somebody else take it and wear it somewhere else in Rajahmundry or Kakinada, Tirupati? The saris don't come easy. So this is a sustainable as well as good for the people either ways. So this is one idea. And another idea is share a meal. I mean, like, there are times when you come back after a trip, and earlier, like, next door neighbors, we had such good connections. As soon as you're coming, don't cook for yourself, and they would offer you. And or if you're, having fever, or you're feeling very, some of the other things, like you're not hospitalized, but you're not having the energy to have a home cooked meal. There are home chefs and all that. Apart from home chefs, if any homemaker who make a meal for four people can make for five or six, it's not a big difference. But within that vicinity, if somebody is unwell or somebody just wants the very bland, non-spicy food which they cannot, order from a restaurant, Sometimes all they need is only rice and rasam. That's it. And somebody else within the same vicinity can, deliver that to them. That'll be a very big boon for somebody who's unwell. These are my two ideas. Hope somebody starts a startup like this. Yes.
My idea is to set up neuro labs. Like, we had this live example of Shilpa coming here and, having this long journey of finding her passion and then hitting the peak. So, neuro lab is basically set up labs in universities and colleges so that one can understand the mind, mental ability, kind of mind one has. Is he having the person having a creative bent of mind or the person having an intellectual bent of mind? There are different tools as of now. KMIT is one tool, design thinking is another tool, and differential learning is another. So, three-dimensionally, I want to understand whether we can set up such labs. So, I wanted some feedback on this. Also, started as a my project started as started for the district. And I realized that even the regular people also find it difficult to understand their potential and passion and all these things. So I would like to know your feedback. How would
Sorry, what is the purpose of the neuro lab?
just to find the one's mind, mental type, whether one is creative, one is analytical, or one is logical.
Well,
Then later one can understand, choose the career accordingly.
for choosing a career.
Creative career or mental career. Any questions? Like,
You already have a lab.
we'd like we have this Atal Thinking Lab. Right? Those labs are to encourage kids to take up innovative projects. So mine would be for all the students, universities, school kids, to understand their technical ability and take up their own form of careers.
Good idea to start.
So,
Immediate.
yeah, some schools are not ready to do that, but one can work on that. All those tests, we can choose those tests. And that is a very optional. Right? They have a center at their own premises or schools. Yeah, your option. Calling from outside. Yes, sir. If you have a scale, it will get the expensiveness will come down. Like we have like 100 euro labs in 100 schools. Capital cost efficiency. So,
Is it actually a physical lab? Psychometric just don't pass up
physical
the
labs,
instruments,
it's
right?
software computers. But lots of interns come to your so is that like they find lots of people for
Can't it be an art based?
that is also an option. But person to person, that, they are
Arts based.
yeah,
Second phase problem.
that worked out. That would actually reduce the cost. Thank you. Yeah. Online, yeah. The only thing I'm telling is that it should be a compulsory thing. It should not be an optional. all the students are screened, and each one of their mental abilities are known, and the course and curriculum would be modified in the differential learning and methodology. Some people would be more comfortable with the textual format. Some people would be more comfortable with the visual media, like that. That way, one can actually understand the course and curriculum formats and provide the education accordingly. This would be the reference point only, not be a labeling or any bracketing. So the reference point they would understand their type of food. Then they can work it on or nurture it or hone their skills. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Suresh. Last 5 minutes, I was just taking the last 5 minutes. I had marketing, I had global marketing for an IT services firm. But this idea is mostly into physical fitness. How many of you here go gym or have been to gym? A couple of us, right? So my idea, what I was looking out for is when we go gym, whichever gym you go to, and I've been working out for quite some time, over a decade now in multiple countries. None of them give a custom plan, a custom diet plan. When you go to gym, irrespective of your body type, irrespective of your age group, we all have the same dumbbells, same machines. In the age of Chat GPT or artificial intelligence or generative intelligence that we are now, I was wondering if intelligent minds here can come in and contribute on a platform. If sir is coming in here from a different age group to the lady here or someone else who's much younger, we all would have the body response in a different fashion to different intensity or training. If someone could come up with a platform which identifies your body type, pretty much like your idea. When you're talking about a skill gap or the way your mind, the intellect, the way it develops, it can also happen to the body. We should have train the trainer programs, right? You go to any gym in Visakhapatnam, they always ask you to, drop down your weights. You'll give your goals, very basic goals on shedding weight or, getting your biceps, etc. But I thought, using AI, if I have seen a very intelligent program in Australia while I was doing my master's there, where you'll have one curriculum, one program of fitness or training, intense HIITs we call them, high intensity training, which is done across the country. Like your Vizag, they have, they use the word yo. It's in Queensland, okay? It's your Gold Coast something, long back. So they run the program and you see it on the television and you have your workout flow, and the entire country who registered for the program does it. When I think of the revenue models behind it, any gym or any brick and wall business that you do, you confine to your geography, you confine to your circumference, and you don't go beyond that. You invest a 50 lakh gym or a 1 crore gym, you'll still attract audience. You develop a great gym here, no one comes from any area or Gajok or beyond. Right? You always have a circumference challenge. But if we can plan, construct, or develop things of this sort, which can be emancipated to larger audience in different geographies. I'm just throwing an idea. I'll be here. I will just join from my friend. You can always come back. I have basic ideas on how we can include these three parameters. One, your body type, the nutrition requirement, and the way your muscles respond, with the weight load that you got to give. And I was thinking if this can be placed in gyms across the country to start with, because again, I say in India, we have Indian body types, the torrid zone body type, yeah. So what kind of food can go? We always see those fat diets that are coming in from different countries. That doesn't work. I have seen that. So if we can, how do I say that? Encircle all these elements and bring up a platform, I think that will really add value. It takes a lot of content to be placed in. But if such a thing is viable, if you guys can say it's viable, I'm very sure it can come live. That is the need of the day. Yeah. Any challenges? Do you think this is too weird an idea or not practically possible?
I mean, is AI necessary?
I was talking about the AI for a different purpose. It's not about your body analysis. After you come in, okay, your name.
My name is Anish.
If Anish is there, I'm Suresh. Anish and Suresh are in different journeys in their life, right from the body type. What the AI should do is, now after inducing all his parameters, like, hey, this is Anish body type, this is his bicep size, waist size, fat percentage, water content percentage, if he has any ailments, or any liver issues or whatever, blood type, whatever. The AI should now define a program so that he can work out looking into the program. I was even thinking much beyond. If the budgets are the revenues come in, you'll have the monitors or the life size. How you dress up and look into the big mirrors. The AI should be the robots in there should be showing you the kind of exercise you could do. The trainer he can scale up to larger number of people. He don't need to attend you in person, and only when you do errors, and that's when he should come and support you. So that's the AI part. AI is a layer I was thinking in the larger idea. Very vague idea. I was just thinking on it for the last one and a half month. But if you guys think there's any possibility of building up on this idea, please let us know.
I mean,
Yeah.
ChatGPT is already doing what you're saying, right? I mean,
What is ChatGPT do?
like I for once I said I gave it my body type, I gave my weight, my height,
Hmm.
and I gave it my measurements.
Hmm.
I told that provide me a nutrition plan.
Hmm.
I gave them the foods I could buy near my hometown, near my area,
Hmm.
and it gave me a thorough nutrition diet plan with the calories I need to take and the amount of fats, the carbs, and the protein I should take.
Hmm.
It should give a pretty good detail. And I also asked for something like, say, I need a tricep workout. Could you give me the most optimal, according to science-based, most optimal tricep workout? Could you give it? And it gives according to the scientific results and the studies that done in other countries, right? And
Exactly.
it analyzes them and gives me the most 3 to 4 exercises that are most optimal for that muscle group. I tried it and it's pretty good.
That's wonderful. This is where it's coming in. None of the gyms, I mean, he understands ChatGPT. I work as a marketer in ChatGPT. But yeah, this is content. Imagine we execute this into a platform. Okay, again, ChatGPT has a very bookish knowledge. It may not be practically based, but Pro is doing much better. I have also tried my hands on ChatGPT Pro. So if this comes in, you can still not eliminate a trainer. I'll tell you, whatever you see, it doesn't even give an image. ChatGPT doesn't give you. If you ask them to show the images or the motion, how we do it, that's a different platform. If you merge these platforms, if you merge all of these three, you define a product yourself. You define a new product yourself. One, the content is coming in, which is much better than what the trainers would have. Trainers would today you ask for a shoulder exercise, people will give you shoulder exercise, yeah. But the trainer, how many trainers understand what is anterior, posterior, and lateral deltoids when you ask for a deltoid exercise? So that kind and level of detail, if we can provide, that is much better. Oh yeah. Thanks. I mean, I'm beyond 5 minutes, so we'll discuss next week. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you all for your participation in today's session. We encourage you to share your thoughts and suggestions on how we can further improve these set meetings. Your feedback is greatly appreciated and will take into consideration. We endeavor you to make each subsequent gathering better. Any suggestions?
One thing you can do is you can run a clock for 1 minute. My last 1 minute, some boxes. No, seriously, it will help. Because our plan is 1 hour. That happens. If I go for a TED talk, you can see that clock will run.
Yeah.
You can do that. One thing.